record of everybody who's here. Is there any public comment for this meeting?
Not at this time, no.
None. So the next item will be to approve the minutes of the meeting, which everybody would have received online. I ask for a motion to approve the minutes of our last meeting.
Motion.
And the seconder?
Second.
Any discussion about the minutes? All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Hearing none, the minutes are approved. We have one item of business, which is the yet another approval of, I think, a very similar amendment, except for funding, if I'm correct. So this is now amendment number 6. So I'll give.
I would suggest, Mr. Chairman, maybe Ryan on this side. This is more of the town project. And I mean, Jen, if you want to add anything.
I'm perfectly happy to defer to Ryan.
Thanks. Appreciate that. This is literally the same project as Amendment 5, just switches around some of the balance of funding. So some of the funding, making sure we're covering our 80-20 matches for various funding sources. But project cost does not change. Federal cost does not change. So it is the same project. We also revised one of the project numbers to clarify the section from Railroad to White Oak Road. We did as a separate project.
Okay, thanks, Ryan. Motion to approve.
Motion.
Seconder?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Hearing none. Amendment number 6 is approved. So that brings us to updates, transportation project updates.
If I may, just updates on the grants that we currently have on our plate, and also I would also invite my colleagues, if any projects, updates on any transportation projects within your jurisdiction, please add to it. As you all know, we have 2 IDOT grants awarded, as well as 2 federal grants awarded, and the 2 IDOT grants all related, to transportation safety, public awareness, public education. One is more focused, with a focus on pedestrian and cyclists, and that grant end of last month, end of September. And so one of the outcomes, other like public engagement efforts that we put in is a number of short video clips, and then one longer, like 2-3 minutes type video clip they'll be using for public education, events, or social media. We try to see how we can use those videos to promote transportation safety. And so if you have ideas or suggestions, let us know. So staff MCRPC could see how we can work it out. So to really make use of those videos for different ages. But for the solid clips, I think the younger kids will find it, college age, you'll find it more fun to watch, that type of thing. So while the grant is over, but then we have products that we can use for a while. And then the other SPR grant, the State Planning and Research Grant, is also on public education, but it's not limited to pedestrians and cyclists. It's more broader scope, and also it involves all modes of transportation. And so it's more like a public education campaign for the whole region, if you will. And so we are working on the draft RFP to get some kind of a public relations, marketing consultant that to help to take in all different tools for educating the public to get the message of transportation safety out to the region. So it's a longer it's a 3-year grant on the all the way in the middle or close to the end of the first year, but we've done some stuff. So we RFP on that. On the 2 federal grants, one is the SS4A, Safe Streets and Roads for All, federal grants, and also that relates to transportation safety. And as you know, many of you participate in the Go Safe plan that was funded from IDOT, SPR grant a few years ago. But this SS4A is the one that has more substance based on the federal criteria, US DOT criteria. And so we are one of 6 entities in the state of Illinois got the SS4A grant. We're waiting for the final signatures from Washington, D.C. on that. So on the grant agreement, so once we get that, then we'll be rolling that out and working on the RFP as well right now while waiting and to also get a consultant to help us on the process. The 4th grant is the RAISE grant. Is this a long acronym, Rebuilding American Infrastructure with Sustainability and Equity. So we're the only entity in the state of Illinois got that planning grant because they have been construction and implementation grant. So on that one, have been working closely with IDOT and along with other local partners to get some agreement, working with the finance and planning staff at IDOT and get that agreement. From what we heard, it's really getting close to that. And so when that is done on the local level and then the federal, the US DOT or the Office of the Secretary of Transportation Office, will be ready to finish the grant agreement or execute the grant agreement. So while waiting, again, we start drafting RFPs just to save time. And so when the agreement is all fully executed, both on the state level and the federal level, and then with contributions from the local partners, then we're all set to go. So Betsy and Bob, you got anything to add? Because you're on the call, and thanks for joining.
This is Betsy Tracy. We hope that this gets signed by next week sometime at headquarters.
Great.
So the last grant, the RAISE grant. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Great.
Sounds good. Yeah. Bob, anything to add from IDOT standpoint?
No, we've talked about this a lot. We're just waiting to get that final agreement out of our business services and should be ready to go. So we're close.
All right. Sounds good. Yeah. And so RAISE grant, that's the one that we be planning, we imagining what the Veterans Park is, basically. All right. Any questions on those grants? You thought any other projects? I will also, anybody for the RAISE?
Nothing new anywhere? Okay. Is there a
Scott?
Just a couple of other items just for information that we can put under this topic here. That's all right. We do have a public information meeting scheduled for the US 51 Business Project for November 6th from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. in the City of Bloomington Council Chambers. So I just want to make sure everybody is aware of that. As for the project, it runs all the way through most of the way through Bloomington and Normal. And another item of note, the first Illinois 9 contract has been submitted for letting, and that is from roughly MLK to Henshaw. And we have that for the January letting, provided we can get right away. We have one parcel that we are working with that has to go to court yet, but we are optimistic. So good to see that start to finally maybe break ground. Yeah, a long time. So.
anything else new coming up?
I mentioned at the technical meeting, so I think this is a skipping record for a lot of people in the room, but we are currently working via transit on a full fixed route transportation study. That's a project that we had compiled and tacked on to our microtransit with them as well, but we're working on that study now, hoping to put a lot of those recommendations in place next year with some probably minor to middle ground. It's not like we're changing the whole system, but probably some pretty significant route adjustments on a few key routes that in parts of town that have changed quite a bit since pandemic or just since we've looked at them last in 2015. So if there is anything anyone from the room has from, you know, your constituents, any projects that could impact any of those routes or anything that might be changing that's good for our relevance, we definitely want to know. We're in that point of study now, and taking any feedback on that. We'll have some public hearings and whatnot coming up all through, probably running pretty consistently January through April across a number of different projects and a larger kind of restructuring across fare, routing, and those pieces. So anything that y'all have to bring to the table, please let us know.
Please
Thank you, Jake.
keep us informed, informed if you have changes in some of your stops and things that maybe we've already planned for as projects come up, particularly on Route 9 or anything on 51 business.
Yeah, I don't expect either of those two will be impacted hardly at all outside of time point and maybe modifying when buses are running, but Route 9, the main corridors we feel will be pretty well unchanged throughout what we're finding so far and from what we have looked at internally. It's probably going to be more of the neighborhood style services and those pieces outside of main corridors. So,
Okay.
but yes, certainly well. I've
Also on the local or on the state house, let us know.
definitely will. Definitely will.
Thank you. Jen, anything else from you?
I think unless there's anything else under that which may arise other than transportation updates, no. Can I just make a quick comment on scheduling for November?
Yes.
Because of Thanksgiving, as is ever the case, we are going to do the technical and policy committee meetings both on the 17th of November, technical at 10:30 and the policy committee meeting at 11 rather than 11:30, so that those of you who are crossing or attending both don't have to like sit around and wait. No idea what would be on the agenda, but keep me posted if there's anything you want to see included.
Thank you, Jen. All right, a motion to adjourn, please. Someone second? All in favor? Against? We are adjourned. Thank you very much for your time and travel to get here.
Yes.
We'll start a schedule.